Hello everyone, Zelrant here, and today I'm just going to get right into it. But we're going to be taking a look at Frontline Survivors, the new event that opened yesterday for Girls Frontline. And one thing with this is Klukai is all you need. Klukai dominates this mode. Now, it will be a little bit of a struggle in the beginning with her because she doesn't really have any sustain, but man, does she do a lot of damage and ramp up levels really quickly if you play her correctly. Now, big thing is right off the bat, you're going to want to get your first level as quickly as you can. Now, her buffs, you're going to want to take all of her buffs every time they show up, except the last explosive one. I find the last explosive one to be not really all that useful. But other than that, you want to take all of her buffs first, and then after that, you're going to want to target all of the other damage-dealing buffs. The explosive one is huge, because that is how you're going to start killing these waves right off at the beginning. And the key with the Klukai is leveling, and leveling quickly, because you need to keep up with the amount of enemies that are coming at you. And since you have really no sustain on her, the focus is just leveling and leveling as quickly as you can. And the big buffs you're going to want if you don't see hers, like this one, is the fire rate, bullet damage, and range. Range is going to be important because you're be killing enemies so quickly. You want your bullets to travel the longest distance it can so that you can be killing them behind it, because you're always wanting to get experience. When it comes to her two buffs, prioritize her explosive ones over the toxic. Toxic doesn't get as important until the end, when you're not always one-shotting every single enemy all the time, so it can kind of kill off those stragglers. But for now, you're going to want that toxic. And then when you see these, take the bullet damage. I like to start off with the flat damage and then start taking the percentage damages when you're given this situation, just because the percentages become more important as your flat damage gets higher, as the multiplication's a lot higher. There's probably a good way. You probably can alternate, and you'll get about the same amount of damage increases each time. But I try and take... Oh, this one doesn't even give you the option, but we have Toxic here. Now, I don't really care. I just pick one of them. I mean, you're going to eventually get all of them. The Toxic, to me, is not as important in the beginning. It's more important towards the end. But you want to make sure you get them, though. Now, the hardest parts of the fight is actually, to me, within, like, that first 2 to 7 minutes, when the enemies start to really ramp up and getting fast, and you're not able to sustain yourself. Once you get to level 30 and higher, you start getting at levels where it just straight up gives you health. And so if you do take a stray hit, it's not as big a deal, because just level up one more time and you'll get some health there. And we got another explosive one here. And those enemies with the guns are probably the most dangerous, because while you're leveling up, they can be annoying because you may not see their bullet was shot and coming at you. Like right here, there's two guys right here. If they shot a bullet and I don't recognize it, I may take a hit simply because I just didn't see him there. So we're going to go with this one, more fire rate. Now, it's going to give me a slight damage reduction, but I am one-shotting him at this point, so I think it's worth it to get that extra fire rate, because fire rate's important here, because they're going to start coming at you quick. Like, this is, to me, the hardest point of the Frontline Survivors, is the very beginning, because you're going to get overwhelmed quite quickly, and you don't want to get stuck in a corner. You want to make sure you're always moving into the experience and leveling, because you need these levels to keep yourself alive. Okay, let's get some more damage. And okay, got the range one. You definitely want to get ranges when they start, the range ones, once they start showing up, because you're going to kill enemies so quickly that are close to you. You want it to be able to reach the ones behind them, so you always have a path you can walk. I know I took a stray bullet there. Well, that kind of sucked. But that's fine. We'll get health with the first boss. That's the one thing. Your only way to really heal is killing bosses, which don't come that often. But we should, I think at 2 minutes is when the first boss comes. And we're doing pretty good damage at this point. We're still one-shotting. Okay, another range one. Definitely going to go with the range, so I can keep my distance from them a little bit better. And if you actually struggle, because right now I'm on the challenge difficulty, if you do the normal difficulty or even the medium difficulty, it's actually easier, and you can get a ton of points. Like, you can do everything on that difficulty. You don't even need to do the challenge difficulty if this one's too hard for you, because this one is a dramatic increase in difficulty on the enemies, even though you're killing them really quickly, and you have more time to accumulate points. You don't need as many points that you're able to get on this difficulty versus the other ones. So if you just want to, just do it on the easy mode, you can still pretty much get all the points needed to get all the rewards on the easiest difficulty. Because it's going to be tough in the beginning, because one, we're not going to be taking the defensive ones, which includes the movement speed. Oh, almost, I took the hit there. Dang it. Stray bullets can be annoying. At least there's a health here from the boss. I mean, in the worst case, if you do die, just start over again. I've died a couple times on this just from stray bullets. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. And so this one, I really like the last one for long range. Gives you more damage and the big range increase. So I'm always hitting them. Because staying away from the guys with the guns is really nice. Because they're what's going to kill you. If you can move around and avoid the other guys, the stray bullets are what are going to be the problem. Okay, and so this is the last explosive buff. I never take this one because it's a screen wipe, but it happens every 3 minutes. Definitely not worth it. Just go for more damage. And actually, if you have toxic on here, I'm going to take the toxic one. You want to make sure you max out the toxic buff. That's going to be important once you get to the end. To make sure you're kind of killing the stragglers that you don't kill with your explosive bullets. Because it works kind of similar to her dot on the bosses when you use the normal Klukai. You're just spreading toxic to all of them to make sure you're killing them quickly. Let's see. So we have the other two toxic ones here. This one's the one that has a plus attack to it. Definitely want that one. And now you have the shotgun. The shotgun guys are even more of a pain. And there wasn't actually, in the easier difficulties, there's not as many shotgun guys. So if they're the ones that are kind of driving you nuts, then just do the easier difficulties because there's not nearly as many of them. So this one is good on the explosive one. It's just this one's that bad. So I like this one here. As you can see, we're pretty much keeping them at a distance from us. If we point in a direction, you're killing everything in that direction. Slowly walk in that direction. You got to be careful, like I said. Those stray bullets are what will kill you. Okay, take that. I think that's the last toxic one now. So I think we're doing all of the toxic damage we can. Now we are level 19, so this is around the range where I start taking the loot radius buffs. Because now it's going to get harder and harder to get all the XP we need. And so being able to get the loot radius one makes it easier to get the XP. Without having to get too close. So we got all those runners coming at us. Okay, so it's on here. That's good. So now, it'll be a little bit easier. And now we got those. Took a hit. This is where it starts getting hard. Like I said, that 2 to like 7 minutes is hard because now we have the fast enemies, and we're not taking the movement speed buffs. Now this will be eventually our movement speed buff. Well, actually we could take it now because it gives us more fire rate. But you do get those buffs here. So we did get a little bit, but we won't get a massive movement speed and buff. Oh, there's the boss. Shoot, can we get... There we go. We got at least that 1 health back. These fast enemies are super annoying. They're just as bad as the bullets. But they're not, like I said, the easier difficulties, there's not as many of them, and they're not as fast. And if you want to get all your points in the easier difficulties, there's no reason not to do that. Alright, fire rate. So, huge fire rate increase, just a little bit in the bullet damage down. Definitely a great one to have. I mean, look how fast it's coming out now. And the thing is, it's going to get fast, even faster the more we level, because that one buff we have increases fire rate based on level. So it's only going to get faster from here. So more damage, make sure we're always killing them. So if you're looking to go over the highest score possible, Klukai, though, is definitely the one to go. It's definitely not as easy to keep her alive, because you don't have all the defensive stuff, especially like what Suomi has. But man, does she just wreck the field. Okay. There we go. Big bullet damage there. And see, with that loot radius, we're pulling all this stuff from all these guys we killed. And so here's the movement speed one. We get this one, we're going to definitely... And you can see, we got a decent chunk in speed increase there. And let's see, a basic loot radius. Yeah, we're going to get the massive radius increase. Because as they start swarming us, it's just going to get harder and harder to collect it. Here's the bullet damage one for that. Definitely want that. Increases bullet damage per level. That was a massive increase. As you can see, now we're pretty much wrecking everything. Let's see. We only get, what, 2 more levels of stuff here? We're at level 28. Bullet size. So this one's kind of a tricky one. I could get more movement speed, but you don't really need that. I think we're gonna go with that just because that hitbox. I mean, I haven't taken this one before, but the bullet speed one does have a little bit of increased damage here if you can get to it. But I think I'm gonna take this one. Let's see how this one works out here. We're only gonna be able to get it to level 2, I believe, which will give that hitbox reduction. But I will say, you start taking hits at the end because there's so many of them. Even if you are killing them, you kind of rely on levels at the end to keep you alive. You sustain through killing. Oh, we didn't even get... Oh, that sucks. It didn't even give us the... Okay, we might have to go with that one then. We kind of got unlucky here on the buffs. Use movement path each time the user fires a regular bullet. You know what? We're going to go with that one to slow him down. It'll keep our back a little bit safe. I really haven't taken defensive ones in the other ones because I haven't really needed them. But maybe it'll keep our back healthy. Okay, we can have that. Reducing that hitbox. And that's pretty much it. We are level 30 now, so we should start getting the health buffs soon. I think we get like some firepower ones and then health ones, which we really need because we are down to 1 heart now. Yep, so bullet damage. Eventually you start getting nothing but health ones. There we go. There's 1 heart. Fire rate. The big thing is you have to always be moving to make sure you're always collecting the XP. There's HP. And now I think we're going to be getting HP like every couple levels now. So you can take a hit here and there. Survival Trick 1 restores 1 HP immediately. Enemy spawned thereafter. It will slightly increase HP and movement speed. Gain 30 points immediately. Enemies defeated thereafter grant 2 times. So this is where it starts really ramping up the points here. Now this buff I don't believe is in the harder or the easier difficulties, but you don't need it to get points. That's the funny thing. You get so many points from how many you're killing, you really don't need to get this many points. I mean, we're just going to keep getting these. Health plus more points. Can't even kill him. Can't move quick enough. This is what I said. You're going to get hits. You can't even see what's going on with how much you're shooting. But you should be hopefully leveling up quick enough to just keep getting health. That's what keeps you alive, is leveling up. See if I can actually beat my regular score, because man, it's actually a lot harder on this challenge mode on avoiding these fast guys, even with the sluggish buff. And we're down to 1 heart. Oh my goodness, it's actually a lot harder on here. I got plenty of points here, but I mean, as you can see, I've got all the points you need to beat it. Now, if you can last the full 20 minutes, which is insane, because she can't sustain on her own. But at that point, yeah, they just start overwhelming you here, and she doesn't have those defensive buffs, but she racks up points plenty enough, and all you need is, if I remember correctly, was 13,000 points. Let's see here. I think the hardest one, yeah, was 13,000. So I got way more than needed. Now, I got 40,000 on normal, because normal is easy enough. that you can get all the way to the end no problem. The problem is it doesn't have that buff that gives you the ramping up points. So if you want to get like a truly insanely high score, you're going to have to do that in challenge mode, but you don't need to. Because I mean, you can get, I've already got all the rewards. Like, I didn't even need them there. And then again, I got all the rewards I needed so quickly that I haven't even played enough to get like all these extra buffs. So these would make it even easier to do this challenge mode with Klukai. But like I said, Klukai is all you need, and that's pretty much all you have to do to get the score needed. She doesn't have the survivability of Suomi or even Macchiato, but you don't need that because she gets all that points a lot quicker. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps, and thanks for watching.